I don't see them coming through.
Oh, you don't? Do you see anybody coming through?
Well, I mean, there's always people coming through, but surprise visits like this on our end have a lower probability of success on their end, I will say. Because, if I say, hey, October 12th, we're having, our next hybrid children special, well, that helps fold everything into that coordination where every being that means to be there is there. This is not exactly that sort of coordination. And I was wrong before because the Usol did come in on Thursday. They said that because when I put out an open invitation, they said it didn't matter because we're not letting anybody else in. And then they came in and let other people in. I thought that was kind of neat. But yeah, they are I would say that they are lurking because they wish to expand more upon their humor. Since they were a bit chagrined, I will say, about supporting my wording that they were so humorous, and then they kind of deadpanned everything and on a cerebral level snuck some things in. It was fun.
I see.
But yes, in the absence of Isabel, who is fabulous, I guess we'll do a pinch hitter and see what comes up.
Let's open the door and see who shows up. Knock, knock, knock.
It is not so much who shows up, but who you weave together to create. For all of these are very much so joint co creations outside of your physicality. They are creative creations of varying inputs and modes of expansion. There are beings waiting for all of you, and you all are aware that is a very pleasant thing and a tremendous opportunity of which you may not be fully aware. For indeed, if two heads are better than one, then multiple minds, all loving your expression and contributing to it, can only exponentially improve your life if you allow it. Those overlays discussed are indeed multidimensional in depths, which are called overlays in your mind and conjure up more linear aspects of which they have none. Those expressions have value in their uniqueness, as yours in its multitude of parts, processes, energies, emanations. It is a language, languages of the weaving of energies in various expressions so that they may be viewed in ways which are novel as well, not just the expression of that energy, but perhaps you could imagine the Grand Canyon and then view you at the bottom looking around and then realize every part of the Grand Canyon is looking at you in wonder for the wonder that you are looking at it. You are there now, in a manner of speaking, for many eyes are upon you. You can feel them, but on your heart, not on the back of your head, for someone is focused upon you. But you merely need to open your arms, literally and figuratively, and summon up from Gia, summon up from the elementals, the stars, the moon. Summon those energies into you and out to the collective. For it aids you, you lose as you cannot lose nothing. It is just more miracles you have attributed your energy to in the expression you choose to play within. Now, for those who may have chosen to pre-experience greater delights with the hybrid children, we will not be performing any magic tricks, and any comparison to them will do neither any justice, as is true in all of the expressions in your densified world. The complexities which you have enabled in ways are profound, and those divine energies are shooting up and raining down in ways like raindrops of awareness, rainbows of understanding. You have noticed in your lives this very thing, and know and smile within you, perhaps, that things are ascending. And there is another hint. It is still a wonder outside your world how many choose to ignore their gifts and opportunities for expansion, and what they choose to focus on instead All are honored. We shall step aside for the one named Chuck, for his blessings run deep. He is known by other signatures. And as is custom in this group, are there questions, lest we leave too soon?
Does anybody would like to step forward to interact? Questions, comments?
We will say there are surprises in your skies which are coming. Note how you react. Note any messages you receive.
Christiana has a question or comment.
Thank you. Greetings and thank you for this co-creation. I synchronistically today was led to watch a film that was full of crystals and portals and parallel worlds and things. Would you like to maybe comment on this synchronicity that I experienced today?
You do understand that all of your gemstones have vibrational realities beyond your physical world, not only as you do, but in ways which are of a, we do not wish to say pure form, but a form which is easier to digest amongst various densities. For that energy is truer in its expression to its energetic light counterpart in many realms, we will say, and easy to recognize as a form of consciousness unique to the expressions it brings forth in your realm, which are hints of the powers you already have in your multitude of forms, that coming to you is a expression of the gemstones in ways coming to you and not the other way around. It is a opportunity for you to speak with them and to there is a lesson for you. We suggest you do your practice during new moon with them outside. And after they are refreshed, you will be clearer too.
Thank you very much.
Brother Francis, please.
How can we become more aware that we are in a communication mode with other beings?
And a dozen messages for answers pop to the forefront in your head and ours. And as this group has had many learnings along those lines, we will present you with an example of the meerkat climbing up on the small hill as you are doing now and seeing far and everything that it senses above it, below it, through all of its physical being is its entire reality, except for the drive within it. You have a complete world under the ground where you are now, in 3D, entrenched, solid, free from serious harm for the most part. And there are struggles and challenges. And you have decided to make friends with your predators, to offer loving hearts to those who may have considered you beneath them previously in ways. But your truth is shining that aids your vision, and all that you see will wish to be under that gaze, for the authenticity bears a longing, which is a wonderful thought we borrow from you. This is a diamond in the rough experience. And we thank you all for creating in such flowing manners that you consider it your natural state. We neglected to let you know when We had finished answering. For the record or the video, we trust that was sufficient.
Yes.
Anyone else would like to interact, ask questions, comments? I have a small one, and it has to do with the role in the communication of those entities that are wanting to make contact with us or that we wish to make contact with them. The role of emotions in carrying through the communication. If you could make comment.
Well, it is important in all manifestations in your physical realm, as the emotion itself does not carry through as clearly beyond your veil as intent, a strong desire, and an open allowance is more beneficial to such communication. The emotions after such contact are important in solidifying that event within your physicality in ways. A bundling of energetic meshing you call events, perhaps. And as the energy wanes, an image of our ship has sailed is brought forth. And waves of goodbye for you all, with our blessings and loving co-creational energies extended to you all.
Thank you and goodbye. Welcome, Ray.
That was a more feminine energy to me. I don't know what you guys felt. I'll let you tell me and I'll figure it out when I rewatch it.
I felt it as a more neutral energy personally, but you could say in that sense, more balanced and feminine. Good.
Thank you.
At this point, the chat is open, and we can open it up for anybody that has any commentary or anything of any interest. We're even open to some stories of what's happened for you this week. From tattoo parlors to other things.
Or something you might be passionate about and wish to share with the group.
Absolutely. Love to know about the nightlife in Melbourne, Australia. I don't know anything about it.
You mean the day life? What? Yeah, the exciting life of what happens after you drop your kids off at school.
Well, there's a life. There's definitely a life right there, you know, for sure.
Uh, yeah, I'm doing a fairly good job not calling people out, but yeah, we'll see how long that lasts.
The impulse is there. The impulse is there.
Oh, yep. Wonderful. Thank you all for being here. And whatever's good for you. And thank you for letting us know, Melanie and Carly's phone.
Yeah. Well, that'll be the first thing to say. Thank you to all of you for creating this space one more time. And whatever expression of sharing that you have done in voice is very significant, but at the same time, the biggest contribution is your presence in this group. Always, always, always. And we have to thank both Ray and Brother Francis for most beautiful first hour. And I still have the power of that meditation contact with the higher self that he did for Jennifer. That was beautiful and powerful, very powerful.
Yes, thank you.
And very applicable to many other things, you know. Like I said, there's no better buddy than your higher self. And the more you speak to it, the better. The more you focus on that, the better it is.
It never fails. It always leads you, guides you to wherever
Never.
you're supposed to be.
And in my experience is ever present as it should be on anything, on anything. However high vibrational contact we're making, the higher self is there. We're not bypassing the higher self. It doesn't work out. At least that's my experience. Senor Ray, what's cooking in your head?
It's been a fun event, I tell you. Pretty high energy. They're still hanging around. I have no idea who that was.
No, you
did
not get announced, but like I said, if you open the door, somebody is going to be there,
And
so
at the very end, had the thought about, I was just like openly wondering and kind of got my fingers shutting the door for that thought about you don't ask about those kind of things. As a general rule, I don't. And it was like, don't you remember? It's like, well, I do now. Yeah, thanks for that reminder. Sometimes they're a little bit more subtle than others, and sometimes they're not. But yeah, that's so I kind of looked in, and that's where I got the
no,
feedback.
I did notice something. Somebody got a little bit of a view of Christiana Anna's a YouTube video on the name of the planet. There was a positive movement tonight.
Still incorrect, but much, much better.
It was much, much better. That's what I thought. I could see her saying, well, it's a B minus maybe. But we're gonna probably pass him. But oh my God, the beauty of frequency, no?
Yes, and thank you all.
And Mr. Chuck is over there in the background, just being a quiet beaver tonight. I'm sure that he was a busy beaver the whole day.
Yeah,
I was eating and I didn't want to do it in front of everybody.
You're eating. Any special kind of foods that you were having over there, Chuck?
Nah, pretty ordinary stuff.
Yeah, and the entities even called him out. I don't know what that was about.
Well, I heard that, and I said, I don't know. What that was all about. Yeah, for sure.
I got the impressions that there was a connection there. Now I that's all that I got out of it. That's like somebody just showed me and us what to say, and that's popped
Yeah.
out.
The thought occurred to me in general, as I pondered a little afterwards, that some parts of us, call it whatever, counterparts, can actually come through when there's an open channel that basically says, I don't know what I'm going to bring in. And, it could. It's a possibility.
You think that's ever happened?
Yeah, I think it has happened.
Surprise!
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly. Anyway, it's all a possibility. Now Chuck has a very interesting YouTube that he published. I think you published him today. On many beautiful things. I guess I'll call it the creation of realities through. Well, I don't know what he actually called it, but there was a lot of very interesting things that were put forth in that. Probable realities as a creative act is one of the things that I got out of it myself. Now, I didn't listen to the whole thing, but I think that sometimes in the future, we should actually maybe take some teams like that and coalesce out of the different channels that are present. Not trying to make a channel panel or anything like that, but coalesce more details on things of that sort. This concept of free will versus not free will meshes also with the concept that we create reality, and we need to be very clear. There's people that talk about everything exists in the field, and it's just a matter of tuning to it. But there's also the concept that we're constantly creating and expanding. So.
Speaking of constantly creating and expanding, it's the home we've never left is Chuck's podcast, YouTube channel, Alter Ego.
Yeah, well, and he's been posting them in the chat, so I'm inviting everybody to check some of these. They're excellent, and they're kind of like usually what Chuck typically was it 40 minutes approximately that you most of them.
They run. I think the shortest one I have right now is 37 minutes, so 37 through about an hour or a little less than an hour. If you go to the channel. It's the home we've never left. There's probably between the ones that Lucy and I have done together, the ones from here, and I think I have one or two from Magic Fridays. There's got to be 25 now or something like that. So yeah. Plus, there's much more information. I have a audio podcast for Jennifer and other individuals who may not be familiar called Free Form Spiritual Wisdom. I have about 71 episodes there so far. So if any place you listen to podcasts, you'll be able to find it. And it's a hand with a butterfly flying out of a hand. So it's the only one I've seen. You'll recognize it. But it began as me, and it became me and Desetu very quickly. So as you listen, if you've heard any of Desetu's stuff, if you listen to it, if you've become especially familiar with their energy, if you listen to it, you'll definitely feel it moves in and out of the information I'm sharing in the podcasts. So, yeah.
Is it possible that the Setu's angle and the whole thing is that the Setu came first, and then we have a Chuck that shows up?
Well, Desetu's concept on that would be they're happening concurrently, because of course there are no beginnings to things or endings to things. There are just concurrent expressions of things, but of course it's all about within this idea of physical reality, the experience of a particular flow, and nothing wrong with that. So yeah, it's the reason why we're here. One of them, anyway.
And although I was trying not to call anyone out, we do have confirmation that Jennifer would like to share something with us.
Please, Jennifer.
So, yeah, she's allowing me to call her out. That's
Yeah.
different, right? Just tell me yes, and we'll move
Yes.
on, and I'll check that one off. Thank you.
Yes. Um, I I did some channeled writing the other day during a thunderstorm that we had, and I had a message from the Thunderbird, which is in my culture language, the Ojibwe, we call them the Anamiki. We are here to assist in the raising a vibration of this gift of a planet. This is not a time for fear-driven arguing or blame placing. Every moment given is always a time for unity, and if an individual's self is shattered, now is the time for healing into wholeness. It is not necessary to keep glued or be bound to the news of the earthly plane. Truth can be found outside the box. This is not sticking to you or holding you together because it is keeping you from your true purpose and higher pursuits. The systems were man-made, human systems meant to keep you stagnant. The truth is all will benefit from the changes occurring and about to occur when viewed from a place of light. There is beauty to be found in every present, even if that lesson isn't learned until you see it in hindsight. The saying, shift happens, popularized by many groups, is a mantra best adopted at this time. Trust in your own ability to adapt. You are children of Earth, but you carry our knowledge, abilities, and paths of communication with us is possible and is happening unawares to you until you are ready to acknowledge us. The Earth is adapting to change, which is why you are witnessing it, and many are feeling the effects of her change. These are nothing to fear or fret, and we are sorry to inform you that you cannot fight this change. However, you can approach how you are caring for this planet in a proactive and encouraging way. Making demands of others who are content to remain stagnant while you do nothing yourself is unproductive. You have been given the knowledge and use of many tools, and we urge you to use them to connect and contact rather than isolate and divide. Ask yourself if what you put out matches what you are receiving. You are the key to mastering your own self. You only have to believe, and if assistance is needed, it will come to you. It is sometimes a natural response to any change to resist it. It is important to remember that all changes will occur whether you are ready for them or not. Your soul is ready. All beings of light have been subtly preparing you for over a decade, and now the urgency for you to catch up is accelerating. Labels have been placed upon certain individuals and are being lived out as identity, and these masks are causing people to forget their true selves. Years ago, young children presented and incarnated a certain way, and now struggle as adults, feeling as if they want to go backwards. There is a reason why your nostalgia is being sold back to you. We encourage you to go back even further than that. You have lived many lifetimes and many timelines, but thank goodness you are only required to live in this one right now. Those who desire a look back will learn what they held inside them all along and how it applies to the current incarnation. Dear souls, we are always with you. From our position in the East, we are privy to much earth knowledge and remind you of your own power every time we rumble through the clouds. Rain is nourishment. We see earth people thirsting for so much that they already possess. Remember you are love, and remember that we are here with you.
Thank you.
How often do you get into this automatic writing?
It is, I haven't done it in many years. That was the first time I had done it in many, many years, but I used to do it very frequently. I've recently had like a reconnecting, so to speak. A lot of healing has been done in my life, and I'm starting to dream again more vividly and things like that. It's been probably about a decade since I I've done that kind of automatic writing. But the other day it was, I don't know, instead of when I went into a seizure aura, I kind of expanded it out and relaxed and didn't fear so much. And then in my culture, we put tobacco down to thank the spirits. And right when I did that outside, the thunder rumbled. So I knew that they were, acknowledging my thanks.
Cool. Thank you for sharing.
Somehow I feel that there is at least one or maybe two folks here that could comment on what Jennifer just stated. Maybe Brother Francis has a little comment about it.
I am not sure, but I know that, as I said before, she carries a lot of light and it's manifesting really, really fast. You're channeling very deeply. And I suggest that you can continue that writing because there's so much more to come forward. It's a healing. I was someplace else and I was like dreaming your words. They're like keys that unlock doors, and you're going to see more and do more. Just keep your heart open. And whatever you write, it's always going to be on point. This is what's needed at that time and at that moment. That's all I have to say.
And we
Thank you.
always have a little bit of time for you to bring your writings to our meetings. We encourage you to continue the path. You're flowing now.
We are a safe platform for sharing. It says so somewhere on our Facebook page. That's where I read that. It must be true. I saw it on Facebook. I felt it in Facebook's heart. It algorithmed me right in here. And Chuck, I was curious about I know you were eating, so you were focused on more 3D oriented activities while your auditory canals were filling themselves with spiritual wonders.
And you were wondering what in that regard?
No, I just like getting your takes on all the energies.
I think he's wondering how those two streams could meet and produce a third stream.
Yes, right. Some sort of a very interesting Vesica Pisces was going on there. Oh, well, I think I want to mirror what everybody else has said so far and suggested, and I heard I caught part of what Lewis was talking about earlier in your regard, Jennifer, and probably one of the most powerful things you can do to get back into the direction that you would like to have, I believe, is to continue to do what you shared with us tonight, as been suggested by other individuals. Because, and again, as Lewis said earlier, you're going to find no more powerful supporter and no bastion of emotional safety than you will in those deep places of yourself. And so as you become increasingly familiar with you and that encompassing you is already aware that that's the direction that you're going to head into. And so it'll start to do everything that you will allow to support you in moving in that direction. So I think that anytime you have the opportunity, if you feel a little something there, jot it down, whatever it might happen to be, and learn to recognize that feeling state is what I'm going to suggest to you, because then You don't have to have your pencil, your pen in your hand, or sitting at your computer. All you have to do is realize that that information is coming from that place of you when you're in whatever situation you're in, and then you can pay attention to that and gain from it in that moment.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, thank you. It's so nice.
Beautifully said.
Thank you.
You guys continue to make me so proud of you. It's just fun, and among other things, not just fun, but it's a passion.
I think that the evening always brings things that are spontaneous, authentic, and that tonight we actually have experienced some very good spots of personal healing, not just for us here, not just for a person in particular, but very good spots that are available for anybody that comes close to listening to this particular meeting.
And I did have a question when I was asking whichever entity Brother Francis was bringing in at the time, because I was thinking, how weird is it on our planet that the hominids which evolved into slipwalkers, Sasquatch, who are naturally part of our planetary, not only plan, but organization and execution and protection. And now we have these hybrid beings, and we have our cousins, which are in ways more developed than us, but still part of us, hiding themselves from us because we react in ways which are not only not their energy, but which can be threatening in ways. I was like, I hope that's not duplicated a lot out in the various universal realms where native beings are hiding from other beings, which were introduced by other beings. But that, when you lay it out like that, it's all just formula, right? Of fractal expansion in 360 degrees. So it's got to be out there somewhere.
Well, what comes to be too is kind of what Bashar talks about is that, if you're not a frequency match for those other individuals, they're not going to be part of your experience of reality. So it's not even like they need to do anything in particular. They're just aware that you're not going to be interacting with them because you don't have the facility to interact with them in this. I mean, you do, you're just not using it.
You may not even be able to see them in any sense as a result of the fact that you're not matching frequency or vibration in any way.
Unless your higher self wants to give you that little glimmer of something so you can go, what was that? And maybe it stimulates a little something.
So there could, now that you say that, Chuck, I mean, there could be a dozen or more individuals who are downloading this whole thing, but because they don't believe in channeling, they're going to get it in a subconscious way, and then they will say, oh, and they'll get in all of that realization in a split moment.
It's a time capsule
There you go.
in their field. Okay.
Like Illy talked about, right? The fold, we dip into folds in our reality, which contained expanded time and resources and information.
But for those that are already in the stream of things, you put in there something about more quality writing, and maybe we need to be doing a sharing of writing portions on our Sunday sessions. And I truly vote for that because, in effect, we have been already. It started with Willow.
Mm-hmm.
And now we have another expression in Jennifer. And I would say that there's many others that would join into that. It's a good forum for people to come in. They feel safe. and they share that they very authentically have come forth, and they feel that it's very significant that they have made that contact with their higher self or anything else that came through.
And it
So I
takes
think it's,
pressure off of us, right, Luis? Because we don't necessarily have to write anything. But I'm not going to just spontaneously write something for the group like I might end up channeling if
no,
people
but
don't show up.
I don't. Do you still write? Ray, you're plugging all the time. So I mean,
At times, but it's sporadic because I write descriptions for my YouTube channel. So the days that I channel, it's like 4 or 5 hours of joyous time. But because I
when
normally do the transcripts of the hybrid children, because it's only like 5 to 8 minutes, and I get so much out of it. So
sure, but for some, the automatic writing is an essential component of how they're getting their own messaging and connection. And it helps build a foundation that is very significant and will broaden.
Well, it's a bridge too, right?
Yeah, it's a bridge. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's like a painting. Each one of us is a line, a square, a color, a circle, and it's like music. We're all interacting and weaving, and then writing comes into it, and that's a whole nother expression. But we're all as a collective group expressing, and that's why the beings, like you say, the frequency that you lay out, those that will feel it will match it. And until then, they're gonna be like,
Well, and I take the analogy
okay.
that all of this is a little bit like going to the gym,
Yeah.
and you want some muscle, you got to do a little bit of movement in the gym. And so as people come forth and they present themselves in front of a mic and they read something that they, come up with, that they themselves may be wondering, oh, this is fantastic, but, they're expanding those channels in them, and they're gaining the confidence, one, that they're on the right track, and also that they can put themselves in front of others, okay, and do that sort of thing. It's a big opening, a door that will continue to open, and other doors will open, of course. But
yeah, in my experience, that's exactly what it does. The more that you allow that to happen and become familiar with it, the more it's just part of your life. And for me, it just got to be every day. You probably haven't heard this metaphor I've used, Jennifer, but the way that I always say it is that if you think of those old time movies with the pirates and they have a parrot that's sitting on their shoulder, it's kind of like that, or that more expansive me, it's almost like it's right there. And there's always a dialogue going on as long as I'm paying attention. If I'm focused away from it in some way, then I don't pick it up. But then it like gives me a little boot in the head so that I pay attention. But yeah, so it gets to be that. It gets to be you're guided all day long. It's like you're getting little hits, little intuitional bursts, little whatever it might happen to be, and you learn to trust it because you see through experience what it does for you, where it brings you, and then little by little by little, what happens is that you become trusting, not in me, not in Francis, not in Ray, not in anybody else, but in yourself. And when you get there, then you move through your life in the way that is really fulfilling for you.
It's interesting you said that because I write every day. I'm a writer, I'm a poet. And sometimes when I would journal, it wouldn't be very clear to me if it was me coming through or something else coming through until I would read it back. And then I would see like these little lines here and there that I would know were coming from a higher place. And then times like this where I don't know, I can't explain it. I guess like you said, it is like a parrot almost, where it's like this feeling where I know I get tingles in my fingers sometimes where I know that it's something needs to be written down and I don't even know what I'm writing until after.
Yeah.
And I know that like I used to study at a metaphysical center many years ago. And so I learned a lot of things about channeling and that even like card reading and things were a form of channeling. And I always, I had a very strong connection, a very rooted spirituality, so to speak. But then life happened to me. So I don't know why all of a sudden, but everything's coming in pretty quickly. And it's amazing how I found this group. I randomly found Ray's channeling on YouTube. And then it just led
Randomly.
me,
Who'd have
yes,
thought?
randomly, yes. And
We didn't even have this group until you actually thought us into being, Jennifer. Just so you
It's
know.
just not possible to find Ray randomly. It's just not
yeah,
possible.
Especially if you have good hearing.
it
even
was
even though they
pretty
do call him
amazing.
Random Ray.
Mhm.
But only on occasion.
Yes.
But I thank you all because it's really, I mean, I'm noticing a change in my life. So, I mean, I've only attended one other of these meetings a week or so ago, and even that moment, everything over the next past few weeks has just been more clear.
Well, if you think about it, whatever somebody decides they want to explore, whether someone wants to learn to play pool or darts, or they want to learn to write, or whatever it might happen to be, music, it could be anything, they become part of a group. And in that environment, they nurture their own ability, because people do that all the time. Doesn't matter what it is. They find a common energy to then explore what it is that they want to explore. So, your higher self said, "Oh, let's open up YouTube today." And what's this? And who's this guy? What's he do?
It's actually even more capable. The higher self says, open the YouTube channel, and then it already has worked it with the algorithm so that what you see in that page in the very first set of videos is exactly what you need to see.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to acknowledge too Melanie, I think it is, Carly's
Yes.
iPhone,
Mhm.
that she had an operation last Sunday. We all saw that in the chat. She said she was going into operation. I think Monday she reported that it went well. And now here she's written a little bit earlier that, she is recovering from a throat surgery.
Mhm.
So first of all, we wish a good full recovery from that.
Yes.
But we understand that it went well. It meant it wasn't anything more than what needed to be
So,
done.
so next week we'll ask them to sing a song for us. Is that the
That's
script?
right. I don't know. I don't know how how fast. She just wrote thank you. Maybe you can tell what is the doctor saying when you
It
should be
didn't.
able to sing us a song.
Sing.
It did
What the
not
doctor
affect
says
her
is irrelevant.
Yeah, it did not affect her energy or her smile. I would say it was a complete success.
Absolutely. And I remember that there's a number of people that responded to her message, sending her good energy. That's what she wanted. She wanted some good energy.
Yeah.
She received it
And she
and more.
received it. And she received it. Well,
So I wasn't able to join you guys until a few minutes in. And so there must have been some sort of a shift in Isabella's life where she wasn't able to join us today.
probably, the first session with Brother Francis was pretty full, and I think we went to about 7:40 or so with it. That's the first time that I noticed that she was not there. And then I know that I communicated with Ray, and I know Ray was trying to make contact with her. So something happened, it's just natural,
Yeah.
whatever.
Oh,
It's,
yeah, absolutely.
It flowed.
it just flows. Absolutely.
Nice.
Yeah. It gives us an opportunity also here to have this reading from Jennifer. Boy, that
Yes,
was
right.
beautiful, absolutely beautiful, and the interaction, the continued interaction. And we heard from Christiana Anna and her tattoo experience and great spiritual awakening that she's causing on this.
Yeah, the gemstone things, and Brother Francis and his cadre of heavenly beings saying, "Hey, talk to him, touch him, take him outside," right? And that fit right in. So
Yeah. So we have had a beautiful and very complete night. And
Yeah,
if
always.
anybody wants to say anything, please, this is your opportunity to be with us a
it
little more.
it still kind of amazes me not only how wonderful this group is, but there are so many people who are afraid to lose their 3D identity, so they don't wish to explore anything of their impulses into the spirit realm and others.
Ray, I know several people that go to these kind of groups or metaphysical groups in general now that have told me that 3 years ago they couldn't imagine they would go to anything like this. They couldn't imagine it. Some of them were in the context of the Galactics, the ET, or Bashar. I said 3 years ago I would have said anybody that was doing that was just nuts, absolutely nuts. Something happened, okay. And believe me, it wasn't that somebody came at their door and and forced them or anything. Something happened. Maybe the higher self had finally got through. So I don't worry too much about the ones that just, because I know that they will find what they need to find. And our thing is be who we are and project it, in our existence. It's not like, the YouTube thing and the other thing. Okay, you can do that if you want and all of that, but you are a walking being and you go to the supermarket, smile, do this, do that, and let the energy, the presence that you carry, be the one that creates something in the field of another. That's the way I see it.
Just be ourselves. That's all.
Thanks for sharing that, Melanie.
Yes. Our higher self will be whatever shall be. We just let it come on through.
And with that, I think that I'm going to call it a night over here. So I want to thank every one of you, the ones that were the channelers, speakers, the ones that presented questions, the ones
Always
that contributed in one way or the other. Jennifer, we thank you for being here, putting out what you have written for yourself. It's very significant for all of us.
And shared.
Christiana, for all your valuable contributions. You always bring such a beautiful, beautiful energy to these gatherings. David was here before, and Brother David, is a remarkable man on his own right, and always brings beautiful energy as well. And of course, Melanie there in the background. We're happy that you are here. You're doing better.
Louis, I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
So I know Ray, there was some conversation a little while back that we might do another group channeling this coming Sunday. Have you guys made any decisions in that regard?
Well, we have 5 max who can show up. So I wasn't sure if that was going to be enough. I know you and Mousy and myself are available, and Serge had expressed interest. But other than that, the availability during the summer is limited for John Francois and for Patrick. And, if they can show up for 15 minutes, that really doesn't fit the mold of what we had previously experienced. Now,
Sure.
I'm not saying that it won't happen. I'm just saying that it's unlikely.
Well, it's unlikely simply because it hasn't been, the form of it hasn't, been completed,
Sure.
and therefore, you got what? You got another week,
Yeah.
Well,
Not
we're
much
waiting
time.
for Louise to come in and start channeling and some of the other new ones. And then we'll have plenty of people
I'm down for
to
that.
do that. Yeah, Michelle too. And, everybody's got this
But
stuff.
wait a minute, if I have Michelle channeling here myself, then we have the
Don't be
Michelle
throwing
and
up
Lewis show.
barriers now.
There
I
you
mean,
go.
yeah, no barriers.
It's time.
Fine for
You
us.
will you will see me on Gia TV.
Yeah.
There you go.
I think your 1-year-old can handle the video.
Yeah, and
Zoom
then
myself,
I'll wrap up with I'll go with Brother Francis. I'll go to New Mexico to visit my old friends over there, and then we'll do a powwow, and we'll broadcast it for the world.
Don't forget the invites before you go.
I want you guys to know that my heart is joyfully hearing all the things that you're saying, and that's a good sign. That's a good sign for me, personally. Thank you.
You gotta love acceptance. Ooh.
Layered acceptance.
Yeah. Hey, and on the 31st, we're going to have Heidi. She has a major channeling that she's going to do on the 31st. Okay.
Nice.
So, yeah. So we got some very good things coming for sure.
So we'll share a little bit with Jennifer that maybe as much as 6 weeks ago, 8 weeks ago, Heidi wouldn't have thought about channeling
3
openly
months.
like that.
3 months.
Yeah.
3 months ago. Yeah. But
now it's completely different. And it's all because, we prodded her and gave her a hard time.
Who would do such a thing?
Yeah. She doesn't know that we're inviting her to come forth with more automatic writing, and then we're going to.
Yeah.
Right.
I have done channeling sessions with my voice before. I never know what I'm saying, so I don't know if I would be able to get to that space. I mean, I'm sure I could get to that space again. I can't explain. I've never been able to explain how or why. None of that really matters to me.
Yay.
Yeah, the mystery is
there's
most
no
important.
explanation, and
Yeah.
none is required.
Yeah.
This is a thing that always used to be kind of consoling to me when I first began, is that, like, even in this format, if you think about it, like Jennifer, when you just said something now, the first 3, 4, 5 words might have been in your mind about how you were going to start that sentence. And then you never thought about the words you were going to say, right? You just said them. How is that different than channeling?
Exactly.
Because it's coming from the same place.
Well,
you know
actually,
what I mean? It's just that we think it's coming from a different place when we do it in the way we're doing it here, but it really isn't.
Right.
Chuck has touched something very, very important to me, and that is that in reality, we are nearly always channeling.
Yeah.
That's who we are.
Yes. Can I ask how long you've been a group? How long you've been at the High Vibe channeling?
Ray will give
us?
you, yeah.
Or just when did High Vibe channeling start? Like
Almost a year ago in September, like September 14th, I think, was the first day where Chris Blake channeled Ajax for us on an every other week basis.
Right. So one channeler.
Since we just talked about this on Thursday, it's relatively fresh in my mind. And then the next week listed tarot readings and we had discussion. And then after that, we had the odd holiday, Halloween, whatever. And it expanded in February to Sundays as well. And we've had pretty much
somehow between that time frame and February, we had a bunch of channelers that came into the picture, so that in February we had the first channeling panel that had 6, or was it 7?
I think it was 7.
I think it was 7. 7 channelers, including some that have been over 40 years in the business. Okay.
Wow.
At the same time for 2 hours.
And Sundays began because it used to be originally Thursday nights, but it got so crowded on Thursday nights, and the theme was, more and more people were getting used to what they were doing. That Sundays, I don't know if it was a collaboration between Ray and Lewis, or Lewis's, I don't know whose idea kind of first, but that we use Sundays as kind of the newer channelers format primarily. And then Sundays didn't take long for Sundays to take off. And so, yeah.
That was a higher self directive.
Yeah, and on Sundays we've been doing the hybrid children contact series. You know, where we're seeking to have closer contact with, exploring closer contact with hybrid energies. We've done 2 of those already, and we're now talking again about doing a channeling expo or whatever, or panel, and then doing another hybrid children, you know, in the next 6-8 weeks. We will have those 2 for sure.
It's so wonderful. I'm very thankful to be here.
Likewise. Thank you.
And in that note,
Just throw hearts at you.
yes, you're going to.
Thank you all. Appreciate it. Have a
Thank you,
great week
guys.
ahead.
On
Take
that
care.
note, you know,
Bye
with a
now.
lot of love for all of you. You have a good night, whatever you are, or good morning, you know, for some of
Yeah,
you.
right.
All the way from Australia to Germany today. So, you know,
Yes.
we have a
Yes.
range. Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Take care, guys.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.